Welcome back. You're still watching TVC Breakfast. Now, the Guba Trade and Investment Conference is an initiative that aims to connect Africa and the Caribbean to the global diaspora. Now, this is where investors, entrepreneurs, and policymakers and visionaries come together to build opportunities that create jobs, drive innovation, and grow our economy. Now, the event also marks a strategic opportunity for Nigerian business to access Caribbean markets, forge new partnerships, and position themselves at the center of an emerging African-Caribbean trade corridor valued in the billions. Now, this year's event themed Reclaiming Our Atlantic Destiny, Build, Connect, Renew is more than just a ceremonial gathering. It serves as a gateway to billions in potential trade, investment, and cross-sector collaboration between Africa's largest economy, Nigeria, and the 15-nation Caribbean community. Now, joining us for this conversation is the President and CEO of Guba Enterprise, Lady Denta Amoateng, MBE.
Hey.
Now, Kwaba.
Thank you.
It's a say now I'm going to tell you a little secret. It's so beautiful to have you on the show. Oh. Being Ghanaian, I used to work at Metro TV, and those times I used to see you, and I'm like, who is this beautiful lady? She was doing an amazing job. I don't know if you still present in Ghana.
I am.
You still do?
I have my own show.
She's fantastic. I'm not going to lie.
Thank
but once
you.
again, welcome to the show.
Thank you
and
so
we're happy to have you in Nigeria.
No, I'm excited to be in Nigeria. It's my first time in Nigeria.
I know. Have you tried the jollof quickly? Where are we staying at?
I'm staying in the middle. Yesterday I posted that Nigerian jollof was the best, and the calls they've told me they've calling my foreign minister to take my diplomatic passport back.
You know, when they ask me here, I just say, the best of both. But let's go into the conversation of today. You've been doing a great work for people in diaspora, even Ghanaians in the UK. Yeah. You make sure that they remember their roots, which is beautiful. Now we're talking about Guba. Guba has been doing that as well. And we're seeing this with the Caribbeans as well. I want you to just quickly expatiate, what this means, for you and the organization and also people in diaspora.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. Yeah. I think that we have a large diaspora out there. How do we, connect with our diaspora? How do we engage with them to come back and look at the opportunities on the continent? And so we've done Guba in the UK, we've done it in the US, Rwanda, Ghana, and for the very first time, we're going to the Caribbean. Why? Because our people are there. We have ancestral ties with the Caribbean. How do we look at opportunities that is there and create bilateral ties with them? And we saw that President Tinubu was given a knighthood in St. Lucia. These are some of the ties and the conversations that we need to be having. How do we ensure that, when you look at the Caribbean, it's more tourism. Sure. There's no agriculture, really. So we can look at agriculture. We can look at the creative economy. Our fashion is not there. I had a conversation with the Prime Minister of Grenada, and he's like, look, I want seamstresses and tailors to come to Grenada to teach so that we can make some of these stuff, right? And sell it to our people. And so there's a lot of conversations happen. Ghana are sending nurses to Barbados. St. Lucia have come. They want nurses. Grenada are now asking for nurses from Ghana. And so these are things that we can start working on and the opportunities that we can look at. It's important. Look, it's 400 years this year since the Brits entered Barbados. Wow. 400 years later, Africa is going to Barbados to look at trade and investment opportunities. And I think we need to, when we talk about Pan-African, we can't talk about Pan-Africanism and leave the Caribbean out because our people are there.
Yes, our people are there, and I'm wondering why we waited 400 years to start thinking about that. And when we look at the other side of it, Africa right now is like the beautiful bride. Everybody wants to woo Africa. And so it is quite instructive to see that Africa is wooing the other side of Africa that's not in Africa, if I can put it that way, because our people are there, we have similar cultures and so on. I'm happy you talked about nursing, you talked about tailors and so on. What other areas of collaboration can we create, between Africa and the Caribbean?
I was saying that, look, Africa, we're doing a lot of things. We can have our raw products, take it to the Caribbean, and the Caribbean can send it out. Caribbean has access to 44 million people. And so if you have a product here, you can do the finishing in the Caribbean, and they can send it to Latin America, and the Caribbean. So there's access.
That's a real good idea.
Do you understand? There's access, and so I think that's what we're missing. Look, we need to do treaties. We need to look at visa. Even Africa, we block ourselves with visa.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, which is not supposed to be.
This is not. It's not supposed to be.
It shouldn't be, yes.
You know, and it's the same with the Caribbean. We need to make sure that they're given free access for us to be able to come. And you know, once they give us free access, how do we get there? There's no direct flight.
Yeah.
And I think that's a blockage that
I
is
think
happening.
one of the Nigerian airlines has decided to do direct
I've
flights
seen
to.
that. I've seen. I hope it's going to happen this year because it's
That-
been.
it should.
Yeah, we're hopeful.
It should.
Because
Yeah.
that would break the chain of us being able to trade amongst each other.
Yes.
And you know, for us at Guba, we're doing a charter flight to the Caribbean. Direct. It's only 8 hours. Why spend 23 to 30 hours to get to
merry-go-round
Barbados?
before
We're
you
going
get there.
round. That's how they've always blocked us from working with each other. Yeah, you know, we go over the Atlantic Ocean. It's 8 hours from Ghana to Barbados, and so I'm really encouraging businesses in Nigeria to really look at this trade conference. It's happening on the 10th to the 12th of November. The chartered flight is from the 9th to the 13th, but it's a real opportunity to us to look at other ways of working and not look at the European and the Americas all the time.
Yes,
Look at what
yes.
Trump is doing, and I'm happy about what Trump is doing because it's making us sit up and think.
In Nigeria, we'll say they open our eyes.
Oh, they open our eyes.
That's a beautiful thing, and I love the fact that you look at Africa holistically, what we have, because all the countries, the West, from maybe Portugal back in the day, they pilfered all our resources. They're still doing it, in a neo-colonial, way. But the issue of opening the border, which we should not have in the first place, is also causing a problem. So, are you going to be discussing all of these vis-a-vis areas that you think that promises? The areas for economic cooperation between Africa and the Caribbean, such as the culture, investment, and cultural exchange, actually, investment, etc. Which one do you find most significant among all of this?
I think the cultural exchange is really important. Learning about each other. One of the things that I learned when I've been to Barbados 3 times now because of the event is that they still say the Africans are coming. There's still that knowledge gap about you're African as well. It's not that Africans are coming, you're African as well. And I think there needs to be that education, right? So us to relearn about each other, relearn about our history. We know what we went through. We're both resilient. We went through something, and when you went to the Caribbean, you went through something.
That's right.
And so I think that the cultural exchange is really important for us to relearn and learn about each other and our cultural stuff. And I think for us as Africa, we need to be intentional about the power of the diaspora. In 1978, China was deliberate and called back their diaspora. That's how China became China. You know, they said, come back, come and invest. Come and bring your technology, come and bring what you've learned outside. And we as a diaspora, we have the best of both worlds.
Yeah, true.
We've got the skills, knowledge, we've got the contacts, and we can bring it back on the continent and do things. So I think, I always encourage the diaspora to look back. And even us going to the Caribbean, it's not just about the Caribbean, but also getting the Caribbean to look at Africa. Look at the opportunities here. If you want to invest, come and invest on the continent as well.
I'm really happy that we're having this conversation because even in Nigeria, our president has been traveling a lot. You see him in Brazil, you see him in St. Lucia. He's just trying to strengthen ties. And most time people do not understand why. But I tell people, the more you get your diaspora to come back home, the more your country is better. Now, when you tell these people to come back home, sometimes they don't understand it. But there's also a saying that says, no matter where you go, there's one road, it will lead you to your home. And home is always home. It's beautiful what Guba is doing. I need to give it to you. I need to give you your accolades. It's beautiful just making sure that these diasporas get there and do not forget their roots, because we see so many people even forgetting their roots. A lot of Ghanaians are abroad, a whole lot. Germany, UK, we hear of them say, oh, they want to travel. They travel and sometimes they are totally lost. So when we tell people to come back home as well with what Guba is doing, what are some of the benefits, that they will get? Sometimes in Nigeria, when we tell them, they speak about, insecurity, no job and other things, but we see our government is trying just to make sure that there's a thing they call in Nigeria, Japa. We tell people, Jakpada, come back home. This is where you can enjoy your life, really well. But with Guba, I want you to tie it down to Guba. What are some of the things that can be benefited when you come back home, and also this conference as well?
So when you look at the diaspora is sending 90 billion in remittances every year. So that's power. But it's not just about that. It's about us creating jobs. The youth are here. We have so much youth. Africa, what, 80% is the youth, right?
Yeah.
And so how do we create jobs? Because when you come, and I also, there's two things. So you can come and create jobs, or you can invest.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't have to come and reinvent the wheel. There are businesses here, young people that have set up innovative things. Come and invest in them and let them scale, because you have the access, you have the connections, and you can help them grow. So I think that is the power of the diaspora. Not forgetting where you're from, and knowing that you can make impact on your continent and also help the people here. And I think, so that is what we've been doing. We've been always trying to encourage people to come back, invest. If you don't want to come and live, no problem. Bring your money
home.
and mentor people as well. And I think it's important for mentorship,
Yes.
right? If you're not going to come back, you can mentor a young person to grow their business. And I think these are key things that we can do for our people.
I'm looking at education. Education will play a major role in what you're trying to achieve. For example, let us celebrate the strengths that we have and celebrate the strengths that they have too, and see how we can put that together and have some economic growth both ways. What is your organization doing to start that kind of consciousness, that education, that obviously the need there? For Nigeria, our human resource and our population is our strength. You know, Ghana has its own strength. Every African country has one strength or the other. How are you going to introduce these strengths to the Caribbeans?
So I think when I went to the Caribbean just recently, I met up with the Minister of Education. There's a whole reform that he's doing in the education system because it's been based on colonialism. And so he's trying to break that. He's like, look, I want them to learn about Africa. I want them to learn about things that matter to us. We can't be still teaching them about colonialism. Like, you know, the system needs to change. He even wants to, in schools, have studios. Have things that they can do so that they have soft skills when they finish. And so these are some of the things that are currently happening in the Caribbean, and we're going to help them to be able to do that.
I'm happy with all you're doing, but one thing is, on the Caribbean side, the IMF flagged growth at only 2.4% for 2025 in Latin America and the Caribbean, you know, citing fiscal risks, inflation, limited productivity, and weak regional trade links. So I'm wondering, you as an entrepreneur who had, you know, been to the Caribbean, traveled around the world, been to the UK, and you can make comparisons among all of these, you know, world economies. What are the challenges, you know, especially key challenges that you've encountered in promoting economic cooperation between Africa and the Caribbean? How do you think we can actually, you know, scale this through these, you know, challenges?
I think that, look, when you look at the Caribbean, what they mostly have is tourism.
That's right.
Everything
because of the seas, because of
tourism,
the beautiful sceneries and all of that.
But there is opportunities for the creative economy. There's no African restaurants. There's no fashion. When I go there, they literally want to tear my clothes for me. And you know, there's opportunity. And I think let's not wait for the Chinese to go there. Let's not wait for other cultures to go there.
Take it now.
Let's us create and go in there.
We have it's our own, so we should colonize our own by ourselves.
We need a flutter wave in the Caribbean.
To bring that digital divide.
We need that digital divide. We need all of that. There's so much opportunities. Let's not let others go in there first. Let's go there, let's see it, and let's build. And that's why our theme is reclaiming our Atlantic destiny. Connect, build, and renew. Let's renew that relationship with the Caribbean.
I definitely love the passion, you know, and I'm wishing you all the best. But tell me, for the event, what are some of the things that we should expect? You're talking about the event, and I'm already thinking I should go for this event for TVC, because it already seems like something that there's a lot of things to learn from. But what are some of the things that we should expect from this event?
So it's a 3-day event. You know, we're doing the Trade and Investment Conference. We're looking at agriculture, technology, education, healthcare. We're in the evening of that, after the conference, we have a film premiere with Shola Sobowale. Amazing! And Stan, who's
Stan
also Eze.
The
film is produced by Tola. And so, again, we're looking at the creative economy, right? Because in the Caribbean, do you know how much they watch Nollywood?
Everybody watches
across the world.
Yeah.
I think it's the second
across
best.
the world, but no, you don't. They love
Nigerian movies.
That's right.
And then the second day, Invest Barbados and Export Barbados take out to look at investable opportunities on the island. So we go to see for ourselves what the opportunities are.
Yeah.
In the evening, we have a reception at the Prime Minister's residence.
Okay.
And then the next day, we are celebrating excellence. That's when we do the awards. And we celebrate the diaspora, the Caribbean, Africa, and the continent. And I think that it's a great 3-day event. It's a good investment for you to come as a business, as an entrepreneur, people that you want to, you know, meet policymakers. We have our foreign minister come in. We have speakers from all over. We have the Exim CEO, chairman from the US, Exim. We have Afri-Exim also on board, Canex. We have so many entrepreneurs that are coming to the event, and I think it's a great opportunity for
but I just want to know, how accessible is it for people watching and they're thinking, you know, how can I get to the event as well?
You can come, as I mentioned.
You need to send your name. How do you register?
So go to the website. It's www.goobaawards.com, or you can email us at info@goobaawards.co.uk.
Okay.
But it's straightforward. Look, all you need is your passport. It's visa free.
Okay.
Come to Ghana, jump on the flight with us, and let's go to the Caribbean.
Yeah.
And you know, it's a charter flight. It's only $3,900, and that includes your flight, your accommodation, and tickets to the event. So it's a good deal.
It's a good deal.
Oh yes.
It's
Oh
a
yes.
good one.
It's a good deal. I like your passion, and I like the
very
fact.
passionate.
Yes, I can just imagine those 3 days, how busy you would be, and the people around you. I hope you don't crack under tension.
No, never.
Because you're going to face a lot of that too.
No, not at all. We're not going to crack. We even have our Shanty King coming.
Oh, really? Otumfuo is coming.
Yes,
oh, wow.
yes. When we talk about reclaiming our land, they need to know that they're born out of kings and queens. You know, royalty.
Also, we are going to have some dances there. in the
Oh,
evening
of
too.
course.
Definitely.
Oh, fantastic.
When we talk about the Ghanaian
Now
culture,
you make
of
me
course.
want to go there.
We all cannot go. They pick one president. That's Ria. We all can't go.
We can actually, you know, do the breakfast show, you know, from
Barbados.
Barbados.
We need to do that.
Yeah.
Can you share some of the successful stories you have as an entrepreneur, as an investment expert, you know, and successful partnerships you've had, or collaboration between Gooba Enterprise and Caribbean organizations or businesses, you know, that is now culminating into the summit, you know, coming up?
I think that, you know, through Gooba, one of the major things that we were able to do was we brought the CEO of the Recording Academy, Grammys, to Ghana. We did the Gooba Awards in Rwanda. And through that, we were able to do Grammys Africa with the Recording Academy. And so actually, I got them to meet the president here, met the president in Rwanda, Ghana, Kenya. And these are some of the things that come out from some of our events. This type of initiative, you know, having the Africa Grammys. You know,
it's high time.
Because people always look at the Grammys and it's like, when are we going to be celebrated?
Eurocentric in nature.
Yes, and so I think that having our own is incredible, and these are some of the things that have birthed out from Gooba.
Yeah, you know, we have great artists in Africa. I tell people, Africa is now, you know, we're taking center stage, and it's beautiful to see that we now understand the power that we have and we're using it. But there's this question, this from a very beautiful viewer, and it's been a conversation on social media where people are saying that the country you live in, invest in that country. And I'm asking you this because you're someone, you know, that loves the diaspora and speak about diaspora, and people have been saying it on social media that if, for example, you live in Canada, invest in Canada. Why are you coming back home to invest? That's a conversation on its own on social media and TikTok. So they just want you to touch it, you know, on a little bit. You know, what's your take on that?
If you're in the diaspora and you want to invest, so you live in Canada, you want to invest in Canada, no problem. Then don't complain about Africa.
That's right.
Don't talk about Africa if
You're not willing. No business with Africa.
Yes. If you're not willing to invest in a continent and do something in a continent, don't talk about Africa. You have to put yourself and Africa first. It's your home. One day your children's children will go home. How do you want it to be like? And so we need to be intentional about what we do as Africans. And you know, for me, I moved from the UK 5 years ago. I've got 4 children. 17 from 17 to the age of 8. I wanted them to be home. To build that network, to learn about their culture, to learn about their heritage. Because one day, They can go out there and say their name and where they're from, and they'll know that they're from Africa. We need to be proud of where we're from. Yes, we have our challenges.
Yeah.
So does the Western world, but they don't show it.
Exactly.
America has always shown us that they are superpower. They've given us Superman, Batman, everything. They conquer everything.
Yeah.
What stories are we showing them? How are we telling our story?
And it's only us that can tell our stories ourselves.
It's only us
And
that
we,
can tell our
we have
story.
beautiful stories,
We have
legends,
beautiful
warriors,
stories.
you know,
You know, when you look at even Hitler, Hitler used the media to portray himself as this big man.
Yeah.
They even walked past him because they didn't know that he was so
Exactly.
shiny. Let's use the media to promote ourselves as Africa.
Instead of demarketing ourselves, that's a conversation
Let
as
us
well.
market ourselves. I like the narrative you're bringing
Yeah.
out. I like the fact that you are. Do I say Africa-centric or Afrocentric?
Afrocentric.
Afrocentric.
You are that way, and it's fantastic. Now let us look at the summit again. You know, when you have big summits like that, there are always meetings on the side.
Yes, yes.
How many of them are we going to have on the side? For example, you take a tailor, Ento, and you and you get him to start to do an introductory whatever there. You take a creative person there too, and those side meetings are always very potent. Are we going to have plenty of them?
I love that.
A lot of them. Because that's, you know, when you're in the big room, it's good.
Yes.
But those one-to-one meetings, those B2B meetings
Yes.
are what is crucial.
That's right.
Getting people to meet the right people to do those conversations, to have those conversations.
Yeah.
And that's what's happening on the second day.
Yeah.
In the morning, we're going to have those B2B meetings. So you come and learn, come and listen to what everybody is saying, and then have the B2B meetings the next day. It's crucial for us to grow, and it's crucial for us to go to the next level.
Okay.
Those meetings are important, so we're going to be doing. And we also have a deal room actually at the event.
To sign
So
deals.
deals can be
Sign
signed.
deals. We need to be signing MOUs. We need to be signing, you know, deals on that day. I don't, you know, there's so many events that like conferences and nothing really happens afterwards.
I was going to go there, exactly.
This is really,
We are going to follow through to make sure that it happens.
I believe you already.
this is really
Very convincing.
it is really
Yes, I do.
mouth-watering. Can you re-emphasize again? Because for me, I feel like, this is a place for everyone to
Everyone
be.
to be,
Everyone
business,
to be.
you know, for Africa to grow.
Yeah.
Exactly what sites do you register if you want to?
Yes, so it's www.gubaawards.com. GUBAAWARDS.com. We do have a number. I can share the number if that's okay. It is, you can do +233 597 385229.
Yeah,
That's the
amazing.
number.
You know, it just looks like a very beautiful idea, and something that you've just highlighted quickly because of our time is the fact that there will be follow-ups. Because Lady Denta, oftentimes we see a lot of conferences, so many conferences. They sell us lofty ideas, but at the end of the day, you just go
Just come out with white
eat,
papers.
drink, and everything. You don't even follow through with the networking, and that has always been my issue with conferences. But you know, over a period of time with Guba, you have built that for yourself. That people know that it's credible. That when you go for this, you know, good things will come out of it. And I'm happy that you mentioned the follow-up. I hope that is something that is really going to happen. And also, you spoke about signing deals. That is what I'm there for.
I'm telling you,
Signing all those deals.
Let's sign those deals. I'll be back on the TV station.
Of course, of course.
When
For a postmortem.
in December,
Yes.
and tell you what deals have been signed and the follow-ups that have been done.
Great.
I'll be back.
Amazing. And maybe
yeah,
there
it
with you.
sounds
So
like
we'll be back to
Schwarzenegger
tell you
there.
guys
I'll
the
be
deals
back.
that we've signed. Thank you so much, Midasi
you.
Bebre. God
That's
bless
it.
you. And I'm
God bless
wishing you
you.
all the best. Fantastic lady.
Thank you.
know, you do a great job.
Thank you so much.
As a Ghanaian telling another to you, another Ghanaian, well done.
Thank you
well
so
done.
much.
Nima Waiko, well
Thank
done. All right, guys, such a beautiful conversation. But still to come on TVC Breakfast, are Nigeria's opposition parties ready to challenge APC in the next general election? Find out after the break. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.